Alright, so here we are on lesson 1.3. We're going to be graphing arithmetic sequences. This should all be review from Algebra 1 and Algebra 2 or integrated. So please, I'm probably going to go through this quickly. If some of the stuff you need extra review on, you can watch extra YouTube videos. This is going to be a lot of slope-intercept form, and that kind of thing. So first of all, just kind of a reminder, again, I'll harp on this for the first unit or two. Notebook. This must be the same notebook you took your notes in for 1.2 and 1.3. There must not be anything else in that notebook except for the notes from 1.2, 1.2, and your assignments for 1.1 and 1.2. Nothing from any other class. It must be labeled with your name, that it is pre-calculus and the date. So please make sure you have that or you're going to fail your notebook quiz. All right? Otherwise, there's no reason you can't get 100% on that quiz. So here we go. Graphing arithmetic sequences. Beautiful thing about an arithmetic sequence is that it is a line, okay? The formula, if you simplify the explicit formula of arithmetic sequence, it will give you this formula right here. Y equals mx plus b. I hope that looks familiar, that slope-intercept form of a line. So let's just talk really quick about what we're going to be doing today. We're going to just be talking about lines really quick, kind of refreshing how they work. So slope of a line, I hope you remember, okay? Change in y over change in x. Y minus y over x minus x. Okay? We talked really briefly about the slope-intercept form. This is the only one we're going to talk about. You should know the other forms, point slope and standard form from Algebra 1 and Algebra 2. So really quick, what is the connection between, we'll talk about perpendicular and parallel in a second. What is the connection between, try to move this thing. What is the connection between arithmetic sequences and lines? Right, if you are to simplify, this gives it in a little bit different form, but if you are to simplify an arithmetic sequence explicit formula, the common difference will be your slope, and your b value is the u1 minus d. So, all arithmetic sequences are lines. So parallel and perpendicular lines, this is kind of thrown in there, just kind of as a quick review as we go through this. So just, if you don't remember, okay, parallel lines are very, very easy to identify. They are, parallel lines have the same slope. So if you have two lines that have the same slope, they are parallel. Second one, perpendicular, a little bit trickier. I know my Algebra 1 kids, when I taught Algebra 1, had trouble with this. Perpendicular, meaning that if you multiply their slopes together, you will get -1. An easier way to see that is if I have two slopes, 2/3, it's the opposite reciprocal. So a perpendicular slope will be a -3 over 2. So there's your conceptual. Remember, none of the conceptual stuff has to be written down. I probably should have said that at the beginning. Moving on to examples. Write an equation in slope-intercept form. And we have 2 points. We should be able to do this very, very easy. Again, this should all be review from Algebra 1 and integrated or Algebra 2. So to find slope, we're going to subtract y minus y. 3 minus -1 over 4 minus 2. Okay, please don't make the common mistakes where you screw up where the x and the y go. Y goes on top, x goes on the bottom. So 3 minus -1 is 4, 4 minus 2 is 2, and my slope is 2. Now I have this equation y equals mx plus b. Okay. What I need is an m and a b. I have found the m. To find the b, I pick a point, any point, it does not matter as long as it is on the line. I'm going to use this one. I'm going to plug it in for x and y. 3 equals 2 times 4 plus b. Okay? 3 equals 8 plus b. Subtract 8 from both sides, and b equals -5. So now I'm going to say y equals, where's my slope? It is 2x. My y-intercept is -5. There is my equation in slope-intercept form. Again, this should all be review. Now, you're going to do your practice problem on your own, please. Pause the video, do the problem, and then check your solution. In your notes for the notebook quiz, okay? It does not have to have the exact solution as it is written in the solution side. There's lots of explanations in there. So just make sure that you have the practice problem and you show your work and you have the correct answer. If you don't have the correct answer, you need to go back and fix it. So go ahead and pause and do the problem. Here's your solution. I had accidentally forgotten to actually put the problem in here. The slope is 1/2. So really quick, I'll work with you finding the y-intercept. I'm going to use this point right here. This gives me actually the y-intercept. If x is 0, Well, y is negative 1. That is my y-intercept. So my answer is 1/2 x. Next one. Okay, example 2. Are these two sets of points parallel, perpendicular, or neither? So to complete this problem, we must find the slope of both of them. So let's do that. So I have 1 minus 3/2, which I'm going to put that as a decimal because it's easier to deal with in a fraction. And then 1 minus 0. So I end up with negative 0.5 over 1, which is negative 1/2. That's my first slope. The second one, we're going to go 9 minus 7 over 3 minus 2. Gives me 2 over 1. All right. So now, this is negative 1/2, and this is 2. Those are opposite reciprocals. If I were to multiply them together, I would end up with negative 1. You don't have to do this part of it, and you can show by this that they are perpendicular. I'm not a very good speller, by the way. So, all right. So perpendicular. One of the things. So when you have these questions, I'll ask parallel, perpendicular, or neither. If you end up with these slopes that are not, that don't give you a negative 1, or they're not opposite reciprocals, and they're not the same, you may say neither. A lot of times they'll try to trick you. They'll have like a 1/2 and 2, so it looks close, but not quite. All right, this is your practice problem. Pause, do the problem, then check your solution. Here's your solution. You notice that it's very long. Let's go back to the practice problem really fast. I want to talk about the practice problem. This is different, okay? This doesn't look like the problem I just did, all right? You should be able to extrapolate information once you are given something, okay? Not everything's going to look exactly the same. You have to be able to think outside the box a little bit and think for yourself, okay? Not all problems are going to look exactly the same as the problem right before it. You should be able to do this problem, all right? It says, given the line m whose equation is 3x minus 2y plus 6 equals 0, find the equation of the line that goes to the point 2, negative 1. Right? You should be able to find the equation, this equation, the very first one, in slope-intercept form, and then use that information to find parallel and perpendicular slopes. I should not have to spell every little thing out for you, okay? You guys are juniors and seniors. Some of you are sophomores. If you're sophomores, you're getting ready to do Ivy math. You should be able to make some of these connections yourself. If you can't, go forward, look at the solution really quick, see what it's doing, and then jump back and try to do it yourself. Here's your solution. Notice it's very long. I do some things on the side to get everything on one page, so go ahead and pause so you can look at it all. Example 3. For the given arithmetic sequence, find the common difference is negative 3 and u1 is 6. Find the slope and y-intercept of the graph of the sequence. Now, it doesn't tell you to graph, it just says to find the slope and the y-intercept. So I'm going to write my equation, my explicit formula first of all, of the equation. So it's u1, which is 6, plus n minus 1 times the common difference, which is negative 3. I hope by now you have this formula somewhat memorized. Okay? I'm going to distribute and simplify. So I end up with negative 3n plus 9. So this is un. I can write this with a slope-intercept form. Y equals negative 3x plus 9. Notice all I did was change the variables. Okay, so let's identify the slope and the y-intercept because that's what the problem asks for. Slope, y-intercept. All right, practice. Okay, pause. Go ahead and do it. Notice this looks a little different. Okay, again, you should be able to extrapolate some information from what you've been given so far. Okay, solution. Okay. And this is it. We will see you tomorrow.